Today I'm sharing some of the financial mistakes I made in my 20s that I'm literally paying for now. And the reason why it impacts me so much now is because I just left my job without a backup. It's forced me to take inventory of all of my finances to make sure I'm as set up as possible for a runway of at least 6 months to 1 year. Before we get started, a disclaimer. The information in this video is based on my personal experiences and should not be considered investment advice. As always, consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. First mistake was not automating my savings. When I got my first paycheck, I thought I would manually decide how much money I would put into my savings account based on how much I was spending in a month. Well, a month passed, then another month, and I never really got a hold of how much I was spending each month and how much I should put into my savings account. So really, there's a rule that you can go by, which is the 20% rule, and you can just put 20% of your paycheck into your savings account. The second issue was that I didn't actually open a savings account right away, and I wish I had done this back in college when I first opened a credit card. I always had a checking account, but not a savings account. Then when it came time to choosing a savings account, there were all these comparisons about which bank had the best interest rate, but then there were cons like they didn't have a physical presence, and I didn't know which one to pick. Actually, I would have been better off opening any savings account and making sure I got interest, instead of waiting so long to figure out which one was the best savings account to open. That leads me to the third mistake, buying investment products without fully understanding them. When I first started investing, I was looking online for what people recommended, and one of them was a REIT, a real estate investment trust. So it was a way to invest in the real estate market. And there was one platform that I got interested in and purchased some of the REITs there. I thought I would understand it better by buying it and then seeing how it performed and monitoring it over time. But I didn't actually end up monitoring it as closely. So do yourself a favor and don't buy anything that you don't understand. You might think that you'll learn about it by monitoring it, but that's an ideal world. A lot of times there's so much going on that you won't have time to monitor every investment that you want to monitor. So when I bought this REIT, I ended up buying it and not being able to monitor it with my other investments because I bought it on this other platform which doesn't exist anymore now. Now it's being held by another brokerage, so I've just gone through the process of starting to consolidate all my brokerage accounts and I'm still not done. Another thing I did when I first started was used a robo-advisor. So I thought this would be a good way to see what was recommended to buy and how my portfolio would be split up. This was so that I could set it and forget it and then know that my money was growing over time, that things were being invested automatically. So the recommendation is generally you should check your investments about once a quarter. I wasn't checking my investments very regularly. When I went back and I checked what the robo-advisor was putting my money in, it was mostly index funds. So that means I could have been making those same choices myself. The lesson here is to take time to educate yourself even if you're using a robo-advisor. My next mistake was not contributing to Roth IRAs every single year. So after my second year working, I was no longer eligible, so I thought to contribute to a Roth IRA because there's an income limit. At that point, I had never heard of a backdoor Roth. For those who don't know, a backdoor Roth is a way to contribute to a Roth IRA even if your income is too high to contribute directly. Basically, you contribute to a traditional IRA and then convert that into a Roth IRA. And because you are already contributing to it, most likely with post-tax money, there shouldn't be much of a tax impact when you convert it to a Roth IRA, as long as you do it quickly. You can do this fairly quickly and easily with the different brokerages, as long as you know about it and do it correctly. Even after I found out about the backdoor Roth, I was intimidated by the process. But the process is not that hard, and there are tutorials online on how to do it. So if you're a high earner, make sure you take advantage of the backdoor Roth as long as it's a tool that's still available. And by the way, I used to work at Goldman Sachs, so you'd think that somebody who worked there would be regularly having these types of conversations about personal finances. But even though I took the Series 7 and 63 to become a licensed registered representative, that's not something that was covered in the exams or the study materials. The materials don't specifically cover retirement accounts. So even though I was learning about all of these advanced financial investment products and learning about how option trading works, I didn't learn about IRAs, Roth IRAs, or any of that. And it's not just me. Another friend of mine only learned that Roth IRAs were a thing 4 years ago. So even if you work in finance and have some investment knowledge, it doesn't mean you're going to make the best decisions for your own retirement. And there's always more to learn when it comes to personal finance. I also didn't always understand the purpose of contributing to an IRA. I had always been taught it was a way to lower your income when it came to tax reporting. And at some point, your income becomes at a level where it actually doesn't change your taxable income when you contribute to an IRA. So I thought, there's no point. It doesn't actually lower my taxable income, but actually, it's still a useful thing to make contributions to your IRA because your investments will grow untaxed. You don't have to pay taxes on the dividends. I wish I had still put money into my IRA because then that investment would grow tax-free. Another mistake I made was not understanding pre-tax versus post-tax contributions. When I was making a post-tax contribution to my traditional IRA, when I transferred my account to another brokerage, that pre-tax label stuck. That means when I want to take my money out in the future, it's going to get taxed again. So I'll get double taxed, which is really frustrating. And I could have avoided that if I had converted that traditional IRA into a Roth IRA immediately after funding it with post-tax dollars. So make sure you know how your investment accounts are funded, if it's being funded with pre-tax or post-tax dollars, and have good records on it so that you don't get double taxed in the future. The last mistake I made was getting overwhelmed by all the brokerage accounts and all their interfaces, and I wish I had downloaded apps for my different brokerage accounts and everything onto my phone, just so that I could have easier access and it would take less effort for me to go and check my accounts. I got over that by downloading the mobile apps and saving the customer service phone numbers onto my phone. So it was a lot easier for me to reach customer service, and so that when I was on the mobile app, there was less information because the screen size is smaller, and so that I wouldn't get overwhelmed. So there you have it. Those are my top financial mistakes. Educate yourself, keep it simple, and your future self will thank you. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any financial mistakes you've made, please share it below so that others can learn from it. Thanks for watching.